Now to an ABC7 News exclusive. We are tracking your tax dollars. Last July, ABC7 first brought you the story about how the Amarillo Economic Development Corporation was spending taxpayer money with little accountability.
There were no written policies on how almost $2 million is spent. Investigative reporter Nicole Kahn has the exclusive update and joins us now live in the studio. Nicole?
Larry and Lisa, the Amarillo Economic Development Corporation had no written policies or procedures at all. I asked for them multiple times and left the organization empty-handed. But today, I got this, a draft copy of the AEDC's guidelines. In the past, the Amarillo Economic Development Corporation has spent money on luxury hotels, high-end meals, rounds of golf at premier courses, and multiple country club memberships. There were also handwritten receipts. All legitimate expenses and all paid for by you. Taxpayers will still foot the bill for AEDC's travel expenses, but now employees must follow the guidelines laid out in this Policies and Procedures Manual.
The design of these policies are heavy and focused on integrity and accountability.
Highlights include the president no longer approves his own travel reimbursements. Now the board chair will. Any overnight travel must be pre-approved. Employees need to obtain the most reasonable cost for transportation and accommodations. Misplaced receipts will require the president's approval for reimbursement. And there's a list of ineligible expenses, including hotel minibar charges and in-room movie rentals. The AEDC president and CEO Barry Albrecht says only 25% of the policies are new.
Things were out there in the past, but hasn't been documented as well as it should have.
He also says he is taking into account that expenses come out of taxpayer pockets.
The most recent, we stayed at a Hampton Inn, asked for a government rate or a AAA rate, which is a cost-effective move for our part because it gives us more money in our budget to do something else.
And there are no more pricey memberships to any country clubs.
It was offered. I'm not a member of the country club. I've got things to do.
Outgoing city council members requested policies last August and were happy to see a draft on their final day in office.
It's a step in the right direction. You know, beforehand, before any of this, we just didn't have anything over there. We didn't know what was going on.
I was very vocal about asking for those just because it makes sense, and I think it's important that we use taxpayer dollars carefully and with accountability measures.
I'm used to seeing a travel policy that's a little more prescriptive, but it is a great first step.
The draft is 58 pages total. 4 pages were dedicated to an expenditures policy that includes travel. Now, again, this is a draft policy at this point. The AECD Board of Directors will review it and decide whether or not to approve it next month. Live in the studio at the Kennedy Broadcast Center, Nicole Kahn, ABC7 News.